Aging is often seen as a stage of life where social interactions should be cherished, but for many, including myself, the opposite is true. At 70, I find myself avoiding social gatherings more than ever before. This isn't due to a lack of interest in people but rather a natural shift towards independence that aging brings. In this video, I want to share my experiences and insights into why growing older often leads us to seek solitude and self-sufficiency. There are many reasons why aging pushes us towards independence, and these factors are not just personal preferences but deeply rooted changes in our priorities, perspectives, and physical capabilities. Whether it's the need for peace, changes in energy levels, or a deeper sense of self-awareness, aging transforms how we interact with the world. While younger years are filled with the desire to build social networks and engage in constant interactions, aging teaches us the value of quality over quantity. We no longer feel the need to be part of every social event, and instead, we seek meaningful connections that align with our values and interests. Physical limitations also play a role. Attending social gatherings often requires energy that we may not have in abundance anymore. Long hours of conversations, crowded spaces, and the effort required to engage socially can be overwhelming, making solitude a more attractive option. In addition to physical changes, there is an emotional and psychological shift that occurs with aging. We become more reflective, content with our own company, and less reliant on external validation. The desire to please others diminishes, and we focus more on personal happiness. Another aspect that pushes us towards independence is the realization of time's value. When you're younger, time seems endless, but as you age, every moment becomes more precious. We choose to spend it on things that truly matter, often leading to a withdrawal from superficial social engagements. Furthermore, there's a newfound appreciation for hobbies, interests, and passions that may have been neglected in our younger years. Whether it's reading, gardening, or simply enjoying nature, these solitary activities bring immense joy and fulfillment without the need for social interaction. Family dynamics also evolve with age. Children grow up and start their own lives, friends relocate or drift apart, and we find ourselves more comfortable in our own space. Instead of seeking new relationships, we cherish the memories and relationships that have stood the test of time. Technology has also changed the way we connect. Unlike before, we can now stay in touch with loved ones without the need for physical gatherings. Social media, video calls, and messaging apps allow us to maintain relationships while still enjoying our independence. Ultimately, avoiding social gatherings as we age isn't a sign of loneliness or isolation. It's a conscious choice to focus on what truly brings peace and happiness. Aging pushes us towards independence because it aligns with our evolving priorities and the desire to live life on our terms. Physical and mental changes with aging. As we age, our bodies naturally experience physical changes that can make social gatherings more challenging. Energy levels decline, and simple activities that were once effortless can now feel exhausting. This makes the idea of staying at home and enjoying solitude more appealing. Mental changes also play a significant role. As we grow older, our cognitive functions may slow down, making it harder to keep up with fast-paced conversations or remember details about social interactions. This can create anxiety or frustration, leading us to avoid such situations altogether. Hearing and vision impairments, which are common with aging, can make social gatherings uncomfortable. Struggling to hear conversations in noisy environments or feeling left out due to vision problems can lead to feelings of exclusion, making solitude a preferable choice. Sleep patterns also change as we age. We may find ourselves needing more rest or experiencing sleep disturbances that affect our overall energy levels. Social gatherings that extend late into the night may no longer fit into our routines, making us opt for more independent activities. Additionally, as we age, our tolerance for social drama or unnecessary interactions decreases. We become more selective in who we spend our time with, choosing quality over quantity. This shift naturally leads to more independence and fewer social engagements. Mental health challenges such as anxiety and depression can also emerge or intensify with age. Sometimes, solitude becomes a coping mechanism to manage these feelings, allowing us to find peace in our own company without the pressures of socializing. Aging often brings a greater appreciation for the simple things in life. We find joy in solitude, reflection, and engaging in activities that nourish our souls, rather than seeking external stimulation from social events. Chronic illnesses and mobility issues can further push us towards independence. Attending social events may require too much effort, leading to a preference for staying in familiar and comfortable environments where we feel in control. The desire to avoid social gatherings isn't necessarily about isolation, rather, it's about choosing a lifestyle that aligns with our current needs and capabilities. Independence allows us to focus on self-care, health, and overall well-being without external distractions. Ultimately, embracing independence as we age is a way of respecting our physical and mental limitations while still leading a fulfilling and content life. It's about understanding our evolving needs and making choices that bring us comfort and happiness. Shifting priorities and values. With age comes a shift in priorities and values. The things that once seemed important, such as attending every social event or keeping up with every friend, may no longer hold the same significance. We begin to prioritize our health and well-being over social obligations. Rather than stretching ourselves thin to please others, we focus on what truly matters to us. This shift naturally leads to more independence and fewer social commitments. Financial priorities also change with age. Retirement often means living on a fixed income, and social events can become costly. Choosing independence allows us to manage our finances more wisely, focusing on essential needs and personal interests. Another factor is the realization of personal goals and unfinished dreams. Many people in their 70s take this time to focus on hobbies or aspirations they may have neglected in their younger years, which often requires solitude and concentration. Spiritual growth and self-reflection become more prominent with age. Many older adults find comfort in solitude as they seek a deeper understanding of themselves and their place in the world. Relationships also evolve with age. We start valuing deeper connections over surface-level acquaintances, leading us to invest more time in a few meaningful relationships rather than spreading ourselves thin across numerous social circles. Aging brings wisdom, and with it, the realization that happiness doesn't come from external validation but from within. This makes us less dependent on social gatherings for a sense of belonging or fulfillment. We also learn to embrace solitude as a form of self-care. Whether it's spending time in nature, meditating, or simply enjoying a quiet afternoon at home, independence allows us to recharge and reflect without outside pressures. Ultimately, aging teaches us to value time differently. We no longer feel the need to fill every moment with activities and instead choose to spend it meaningfully, which often means embracing independence over constant social interaction. In the end, choosing independence in our later years is not about withdrawing from life but about living it on our terms, with a renewed focus on what truly brings us joy and fulfillment. The joy of solitude and self-discovery. As we age, solitude becomes more than just a choice, it becomes a source of joy and self-discovery. Spending time alone allows us to reflect on our lives, our accomplishments, and the lessons we've learned along the way. Instead of feeling lonely, solitude can be empowering and fulfilling. In solitude, we find clarity. Away from the noise of social gatherings, we gain a better understanding of ourselves and our desires. We are no longer influenced by societal pressures or expectations, which allows us to live more authentically and true to our values. Many older adults discover new passions when they embrace independence. Whether it's writing, painting, gardening, or learning something new, solitude provides the opportunity to explore interests that may have been overlooked in the busyness of earlier years. Spending time alone also enhances our sense of gratitude. We learn to appreciate the small moments, watching a sunset, enjoying a quiet cup of tea, or simply listening to the sounds of nature. These experiences become more meaningful without the distractions of social obligations. The absence of social gatherings allows us to focus on our mental and emotional well-being. We have the freedom to set our own schedules, rest when needed, and engage in activities that bring us peace and fulfillment. This independence becomes a vital component of aging gracefully. Moreover, solitude helps us develop emotional resilience. In earlier years, we may have sought validation and support from others, but as we age, we learn to rely on ourselves. This newfound self-sufficiency brings a sense of confidence and contentment. Many seniors also find that solitude fosters creativity. With fewer external distractions, our minds have the freedom to wander and explore new ideas, leading to fresh perspectives and innovative ways of thinking. Independence can be a breeding ground for personal growth. While social gatherings often come with expectations and obligations, solitude offers a break from the pressure of maintaining appearances. We no longer have to conform to societal norms or engage in small talk. Instead, we can enjoy the authenticity of simply being ourselves. As we age, solitude also provides the chance to reconnect with our spirituality or sense of purpose. Whether through meditation, prayer, or quiet reflection, independence allows us to deepen our connection to what truly matters in life. In the end, solitude is not about being alone. It's about being with oneself in a meaningful and enriching way. It allows us to fully embrace who we are and enjoy the freedom that comes with aging on our own terms. Navigating social expectations and misunderstandings. One of the challenges of avoiding social gatherings in later life is dealing with the expectations of others. Family and friends may not understand why we prefer solitude and may interpret it as isolation or loneliness, which isn't always the case. It can be difficult to explain that avoiding social events isn't a rejection of loved ones but rather a personal choice that aligns with our current lifestyle and needs. Some may see it as withdrawing from life, but in reality, it's about embracing it in a different way. Social expectations can sometimes feel overwhelming, especially when others expect us to participate in every celebration or gathering. Learning to set boundaries and communicate our preferences is an essential part of maintaining our independence without feeling guilty. There's also the misconception that older adults who prefer solitude are unhappy or struggling. In truth, many of us find great joy in our independence, and our choice to avoid gatherings comes from a place of contentment rather than sadness. Understanding that it's okay to say no to invitations is an important step in embracing our independence. We should feel empowered to prioritize our well-being over societal expectations and find comfort in our choices. It's important to surround ourselves with people who respect our lifestyle choices. Those who truly care will understand our need for space and independence, rather than pressuring us into social events that no longer align with our interests. Balancing social expectations with personal desires requires self-awareness. Knowing what truly brings us happiness allows us to make informed decisions about when to engage socially and when to enjoy solitude. Technology can help bridge the gap between social expectations and our desire for independence. Video calls, social media updates, and occasional messages can help us stay connected without compromising our need for personal space. By being honest with ourselves and others about our needs, we can create a lifestyle that balances independence with meaningful relationships. It's not about cutting people off but rather finding a way to interact that aligns with our comfort levels. Ultimately, aging teaches us that we have the right to live life in a way that makes us happiest, even if it means stepping away from traditional social expectations. The key is to stay true to ourselves while maintaining connections that truly matter. The role of personal reflection in aging. Aging brings a natural inclination towards introspection and reflection. As we move through our later years, we begin to evaluate our past choices, relationships, and the overall journey of life. This process often leads to a deeper appreciation of independence. Personal reflection allows us to acknowledge our achievements and learn from our mistakes. It's a time to celebrate the experiences that have shaped us and to embrace the wisdom that comes with age. This period of life is an opportunity to redefine what happiness means to us. Without the distractions of constant socializing, we can focus on personal growth and the pursuit of inner peace. Reflection often reveals how much our values have evolved over the years. What once seemed important, career ambitions, social status, or material possessions, may no longer hold the same significance. Instead, we prioritize health, relationships, and personal fulfillment. Spending time in solitude allows us to process emotions that may have been buried for years. Whether it's grief, regret, or nostalgia, aging provides a chance to heal and find closure in ways that social gatherings cannot offer. Writing, journaling, or even speaking aloud our thoughts can be therapeutic during this time. These reflective practices help us make sense of our experiences and gain clarity on our goals moving forward. Independence provides the space needed for this self-exploration. Without the distractions of social obligations, we can focus on our inner world and build a stronger connection with ourselves. Reflection also helps us embrace gratitude. We start to appreciate the people and moments that have truly made a difference in our lives, fostering a deeper sense of contentment and appreciation. Through reflection, we come to terms with the impermanence of life. This understanding encourages us to live more intentionally, making the most of each day without feeling the need to fill it with unnecessary social commitments. Ultimately, personal reflection is a gift of aging. It allows us to honor our journey, embrace our independence, and continue growing in ways that bring true fulfillment and joy. In conclusion, avoiding social gatherings as we age is not about isolation but about embracing a new way of living. Independence allows us to focus on what truly matters, whether it's self-discovery, personal growth, or simply enjoying life's quiet moments. If you've reached a point where social events feel more like obligations than pleasures, know that it's perfectly okay to step back. Aging is about finding balance, prioritizing well-being, and making choices that bring peace and happiness. Choosing independence in our later years is a conscious decision to live authentically. It's about embracing solitude not as loneliness, but as an opportunity for self-care, creativity, and fulfillment. Remember, the journey of aging is unique to each of us. Whether you prefer social gatherings or solitude, what matters most is finding what works for you and bringing joy to your life in meaningful ways.